Alright, Jenny, it's our new pistol character. We all saw the review video. I will say the abilities in the video don't look nearly as broken as the numbers show. So let's go over them. Basic attack grants Jenny 5 rehearsal and reduce the cooldown of Persona by 1 second. Persona is her dash, by the way, so every time she auto attacks, she takes 1 second off of her dash. Gains additional effects when she takes on a new role using her E. So a lot of this is going to be back and forth between her E. Her E is basically her bread and butter ability, despite the fact that I'm not sure if you're going to max it, but it's like the ability she's going to be playing around. So her red wine form increases her attack speed for 4 seconds. Her black tea form increases her move speed for 3 seconds. So here's the passive. This will be very controversial. It was not definitely like when they showed it in the teaser preview, she was healing her entire health bar. However, looking at the numbers, I don't know why they showed that in the video because that doesn't seem to be the case. So if Jenny has 50 or more rehearsal, which if you're just auto attacking, it takes 10 auto attacks to get fully stacked. There are more ways to get it, but yeah. So she has 50 or more rehearsal stacks when her HP hits 0. She feigns death, slowing her, but making her invisible, and untargetable. Jenny then ends her act healing for a flat 100 plus 10, 25, or 40% of her max HP. Based on rehearsal... No, wait, maybe this is why. Maybe I didn't read that. Anyways, so it heals some of her HP based on her rehearsal and deals 20, 50, 80, plus 4% of the enemy's missing HP as skill damage to enemies around her. She loses 7 rehearsal per second when out of combat. So the self-slow is 60%. The cooldown on this, so even if you got 50 stacks again right away, there is an internal cooldown on it. So it's 200 seconds, 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes, and then 160 seconds. The effect radius is 2.5 meters around her.
So,
yeah.
with Play Dead, you know, this ability reminds me of it reminds me a little bit of LeBlanc's ability, like when she dies, like remember how she like sometimes will spawn a clone at a certain percentage of health. Instead, Jenny herself will actually like do that and then die and then run away, but then have more health than before. So I don't know how that's gonna work, to be honest.
It feels like Tryndamere ult with invisibility.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess when it says based on rehearsal, I don't know if she can overheal the amount that's listed here, if this is the maximum amount she can heal. Because in the video, it was showing her healing her entire health bar. So I don't know if this means like 50 is the minimum required to heal this, whereas like 100 means she can get like all the way up to full health. We'll have to see. If she does in fact build skill damage, the damage dealt based on enemy missing health will of course be multiplied. A standard number for skill amp varies between 60% to 100% skill amp in a game. So even in the most ideal situation, this ability is doing double damage. Let's say at level 9 when it's maxed out. Doing 160 damage plus 8% of the enemy's missing health. Not really too insane on damage. You're not going to like kill yourself in the enemy for this extra damage most of the time. I don't think it's going to get you a kill. I think the heal is going to be the more controversial part than the damage. But we'll have to see how this goes in game. A lot of this is going to be speculation. Kind of have to see how it goes in game. But my gut reaction is the damage isn't crazy, but the heal could be clutch. Because it's kind of like... Because here's your best example in game. Remember when Kathy was super prevalent? When she would heal herself with her ult in a fight? Like, that was actually the most tilting shit ever. Was that... You know that you're trading evenly with a Kathy, but knowing she has her ult still, that'll just heal her enough to like win a fight. This is where this ability could be problematic.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
And it's a passive; it's not an ultimate, so that's like also another huge issue.
Right.
All right, Spotlight. So her Q. This is her second primary. This is her only other way to get rehearsal stacks. So it shines Spotlight in a circle area. It triggers 3 times, dealing a very small amount of damage, I will say. Hitting an enemy grants Jenny 10 rehearsal. Of course, this triggers 3 times. So if you hit all 3 procs, it should give you 30 rehearsal stacks. At which case, you only need to auto-attack 4 times to trigger your passive. Or at least get your passive up. So when Jenny has 50 or more rehearsal, she can now hit herself with the ability, which will give her different effects based on her stance. Hitting Hitting herself could give her attack speed, or it could give her move speed, max 3 stacks, because of course this can trigger three times. The attack speed is actually not negligible. If you max this ability first, you could give yourself up to 60% attack speed for 4 seconds. That is a cracked amount of attack speed for a pistol character. The only pistols I see this being really insane on, though, are either Electron Blaster or Elegance. Magnum Boa, I suppose, just because Magnum Boa's route is so good, but Magnum Boa could also be really cracked with a 60% attack speed steroid tacked on top of it. And this ability only has a 7-second cooldown at max rank with no cooldown reduction. So this ability has really high uptime.
Yeah, so this ability to me seems just like it's infinite value. You're queuing to hit the enemy. You can also walk in it while you're queuing the enemy. Infinite value.
I'm wondering as well is how often Jenny can get her passive up then, because like you know how sometimes in fights, you know, if you're chasing someone down, you know, she can auto you as she's running, put her Q on you as she's running, so she starts to get those stacks right, and she gets her passive off, and you, like, as you're fighting her, like, how often will that passive come up? You know what I mean?
The cooldown, it's right there.
It's about 3 minutes on average.
3 minutes, passive. Okay. So it's not so bad then.
And like I said, like, the damage of this, so if she does end up, we'll kind of get further down, the damage on this ability is not insane. I guess it's more the uptime on a 7-second ability. But yeah, even if you hit all 3 procs, you're hitting for 180 damage with 60% of your attack power. That's not that insane. Like, that really doesn't do that much damage, in my opinion. But we'll see. It could just be like a thing because it's a high uptime ability. If you hit 35% CDR, it should be about just under 5-second cooldown. So maybe just because it's so spammable, it becomes obnoxious. But I think the self attack speed steroid is where it's really at. And then running away, if you put it like the direction you're running, you can get up to. Let's say you run through it. I don't know how fast you move, but even if you get yourself 2 procs, you get 12% attack move speed for 3 seconds. That could also be pretty insane. I think this ability is insane for the utility, but definitely not for the damage.
Do like running away, just saying.
Oh my god, yeah.
The ability is just 100% stonks, Ryan. It's just 100% stonks. So much value.
It does anything you want in whatever situation. Is that the idea?
Well, also, yeah. You queue. I'm just saying you could queue yourself and the enemy. Just so much value. If you're a TFT player out there, you should check out this ability.
Are you playing this character in Melee? Is that the plan?
I am 100% playing this character in Melee.
All right, so we know what pistol you're not using. They're definitely not that attack range pistol.
Nope.
All right, her W. Now I will say from the video, this is the most jank looking ability, despite this having the highest damage numbers on it. But I will say the ability looks really janky to use. All right. Anyway, so she rolls out a red carpet in the direction, deals a decent amount of damage, and slowing enemies for 1 second. Reactivating it deals the same damage again to all enemies on the carpet. Has additional effects depending on her role. It'll either pull enemies standing on the carpet, or it will push enemies standing on the carpet away.
Kind of like Lennox play, but not play. Reactivatable.
I kind of wish it functioned like the Flay, where the second reactivation, you could either push enemies away or pull them in, instead of relying on the passive, or the, what do you call it? Her form, basically. Her persona form. So, I don't know, I really enjoy the Thresh mechanic of Flay, or the Lennox mechanic of the Flay, so.
Are you ready? Hear me out. Here's why I don't think it's an issue on, like, where you don't feel stuck in one form or the other, because now we get to her E. Passive is every fourth auto attack deals extra skill damage. It's like the Luke W, but every 4 attacks instead of every attack. I know the damage numbers are exactly the same. It scales 10 to 50, and the multiplication with it is scale amp times 1.5 every 4 autos. Or if she activates her E, it'll apply on the next auto immediately. The scale's strictly off of scale amp. There's no attack power scaling on it. It makes me think that they definitely want her using the... Oh shoot, what's that?
Range.
What's that new pistol they added? I'm blanking on the name. But anyways, the 2 magazine one.
Yeah.
Seems like they want her to using this one.
Pull up.
So the active is she dashes in the target direction and then switches the role that she's in. Dash range is 2.6 meters. I will say Ava's dash range is 2.5 for reference. It's not a super long dash.
You remember the Stampede, by the way?
Stampede, yes, sorry. That is the name. Thank you. And then here's where it all kind of links together. So the cooldown is 18 seconds, then it scales down to 10 seconds. Let's say for argument's sake that this is an ant character and you're going to get roughly 35% CDR in a best case scenario. So you have a 6.5 second cooldown on E. Just you E and it's 6.5 seconds. Don't forget that her built-in passive reduces the cooldown on her E by 1 second every time she auto attacks. So it's 6.5 seconds, and then you auto, all of a sudden it's at 5.5, but it's ticking down immediately. This E actually has insane uptime, and then here's the last part. Her ult resets her E. Creates a stage around her, slowing enemies and resetting the cooldown of Persona.
Oh, nice.
This is why I don't think the carpet is going to be an issue on which carpet you want to use, as long as you're paying attention to what stance you're in. Because her E actually has insane uptime.
Yeah, so this, you know what this looks like? It looks like a resettable, well, at least the first part of it feels like a resettable Jin auto. Four shot on Jin. You get 4 shots, you do the bonus damage, and then you can reset it, and then hit another bonus. And I'm guessing you'd want to reset it while you have the, while you have that 4 shot active on the pistol as well.
Yeah, the pistol's going to be kind of weird, because even if you like second shot it and then E, like you still have to reload. The E doesn't reload your pistol like pistol skill does, kind of thing.
Right.
So you still kind of have to wait on reload. That's why it'll be interesting to see what pistol she uses, because it could be, unironically, it could be Elegance. Because I know there's some Elegance ant builds.
I mean, right now the pistols in the game: Devil's Marksman, Elegance, Electron Blaster, Magnum Boa, Glock 48, and Stampede, and of course the Kelty.
I can tell you what I'm not running.
Glock.
I'm definitely not running Glock. I'm definitely not running Elegance. I mean, I'm probably not running Elegance just because I think I'm gonna run her pretty close combat. I honestly, based on this, I feel like she will be because we've never seen a character. Sorry, we've never seen a character that's been good, but not overpowered. I feel like we've never seen a character that's not been good and not overpowered or super underwhelming. Like it's either on the spectrum, and as soon as they come out, they need hot fixing. It feels like.
You're saying she's either gonna come out super OP or super underwhelming?
Yeah, she's either gonna be really, really strong or really, really underwhelming.
I can see people taking her black form early so that they can be quick in looting.
Yeah, she'll probably start E for just for purely dashing over walls for looting.
Oh yeah.
I think E for sure for dashing, and then of course taking on black form to be faster in looting as well.
I think it only lasts for, let's see, Black Tea increases move speed for 3 seconds. Yeah, it doesn't last. It's not permanent.
Oh yeah, it's not permanent, but still, the 3 seconds kind of, in looting is.
Yeah, when you're walking from dock to frickin' the teleporter in factory or the teleport.
Got 3 seconds.
It's kind of nice, yeah.
All right, and then her ult. I was thinking that this is actually going to be a hard thing to hit. It does explode after 2 seconds, dealing damage and charming enemies. For reference, Ava's W, the little ground thing in the middle that will knock up after it ends, that also expires after 2 seconds and causes a knock up, but you can almost never hit the knock up. The radius on this being 3.75 meters, I actually think this is going to be reliable almost reliable CC. If you see her drop it, you have to run out of it immediately if you don't want to get charmed, which is possible. But depending on how the fight is going, if she's getting super low and you're trying to kill her, I think this is actually a reliable way to CC someone. And it also doesn't help though that she drops ult. Let's say she's running away. She drops ult, she gets her E up again, so she can just dash away from whoever's chasing her.
Even more stonks with their Q on herself. I'm just saying, this is a melee pistol use.
Well, what I'm curious about her ulti is, if it's if we're able to interrupt it, but as she's about to cast it.
Oh, you mean hedge ult?
Yeah,
what's the cast time on it?
Like hedge ult. I'm wondering if we can if it's interruptible.
It's probably one of those things where if it happens, it's going to be random and not on purpose. Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, this character again, it's one of those things where you have to see. Predictions are Jake thinks she's a melee pistol user and she's going to be insane. I think she's going to be really good. I think her best pistol will probably be Elegance, and then she'll probably switch into Devil's Marksman because we'll get to that. They do change Devil's Marksman. There are some pistol or Elegance amp builds, Jake. I know you're familiar with playing Sylvia, that you can still build amp even with the Elegance pistol. I think that the benefit to Elegance is the increased ammo capacity over Stampede. In order
routing.
because like even if Stampede does like a lot of damage, being able to auto attack and getting 1 second off of your dash every time you auto might have more value than the damage from 2 autos and then reloading. Like, I think it'll be a toss up. I think it'll depend on how you want to play. And then I predict her W is going to be janky as hell to use. I think.
You could even go quiver. You could even go quiver and then go. You could go amp items with quiver as your accessory, and just go hospital pond for the for both rods.
Oh yeah, so hospital pond. You can finish elegance. You can finish crown. You can finish sheath, and you can finish quiver. Those are 4 full items that you can have from 2 zones. So there's a lot of value in that as well.
Yeah, and get away from all the Jans and go hospital early. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think she actually looks really fun. I think her W is gonna be Jank. Jake thinks she's gonna be super OP. Probably like Jake. Do you think she'll be OP because like with her numbers? Do you think they're actually really good at the moment?
I don't know. There's a lot to consider. Here. She seems like her kit's based around an amp kit, right? But she's also got this air of, attack speed is also something that you'll get stonks for. Like, there's just so much value in her kit. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just so much value there. You know, you can Q, and then you can gain, attack speed while also dealing amp damage to the enemy. It's like there's just so much stonks.
And then Jess, what do you think, Jess? Before we move on.
I think she's gonna be strong. I think she's gonna be strong coming out of the gate, and I think she's they're gonna probably have to nerf her or something.
Oh, also the radius on that ultimate, disgusting. But
yeah, it is.
All right, let's put a letter on it. I think she's gonna be top 8, like high A tier.
I think she's gonna be S tier or F tier. I'm telling you, she's gonna be S tier or F tier right now.
I think she's gonna be. I think she's gonna be. In squads, I think she's gonna be S tier. In solos, I think she's gonna be A tier.
Oh, so I haven't looked at the pistol changes yet, but as of right now, I'm calling Magnum Boa is probably gonna be your best pistol, just because Magnum Boa is a thing.
Just because Magnum Boa route is so good, like,
and it exists in the game.
I think I don't want to stay on her too long, but yeah, like healing percent max HP with the Magnum Boa route, you have a decent amount of HP in your build,
and you get lifesteal and more attack power.
Yeah.